Hi, it's Tony Evans from the Reform Party of Australia. So what's happening in Australia now? It's we're getting ourselves into more and more debt. This government appears to be heading us towards communism. And what are we doing about it? Absolutely nothing. And it's time we started doing something. It's no good just moaning about the situation. We've got to take action. Many years ago, when Gough Whitlam was in power, it was found that he was heading Australia into a lot of debt from dubious sources, and he and his government were removed from power. Now, that was probably okay then, because at least we did have a good opposition party to take control of the country. Now we don't have that. All we have is fragments fighting against each other, even One Nation, who seem to be gaining popularity. But it's not just One Nation, it's Pauline Hanson's One Nation. And you can never have a single person responsible for running the country. It's called a dictatorship, and that has got to end. So what do we do and where do we go? So we need a party that is run by the people, for the people. And the Reform Party of Australia is exactly that. It is not a dictatorship. We're not going to be in it for the money, but we're in more for future generations as well as ourselves. Yes, of course we've got to act now to get the country back into a reasonable position. So what's happening both on a federal basis and on a state basis, we've got not just one dictator, we've got up to 9 dictators. When we had COVID, that showed us how bad we were, how fragmented some of the rules and regulations that came in, all done really for political purposes. So it is time that we acted positively. And I truly believe that Australia has to go ahead into the future as a country, not 8 different states. We're no longer colonies. We're not living in Victorian or Edwardian times. They're long gone. This is modern Australia, and we have to have a government that is capable of running this country as a whole. It is, I believe, the states that are selling off parts of their states to foreign investors, homes, businesses, agriculture, mining. What are we going to have left? If we don't do something about it now, then there won't be an Australia. And we may all be talking Cantonese for all I know. So come on, let's start doing something about it. So what is this Reform Party of Australia? Well, although we may be getting our name from the party in the UK that is called the Reform Party, and they appear to be doing a good job, but our agenda here, although we're calling ourselves the Reform Party, we are not. Their problems over in the UK are somewhat different, although in some respects very, very similar. But we have a different agenda here, and we must act for Australia and Australian people. So we would do away with state governments because they are wasting our money. It's yet another tier of administration that we don't really need. We would keep our two levels of federal government, and we would certainly, of course, would keep all of our local governments, and state and territory administration would still be there. So we're not losing our identities, but we're streamlining them. So we would do away with state governments, saving hundreds of millions of dollars in each state and territory every single year. Now, what can we use that money for? Well, it can certainly go towards housing and hospitals, schools, infrastructure, and help to reduce our ever-increasing debt. We've had too much waste and, I suppose we could say, dishonest dealings with some of these politicians. That must stop, and it must stop now. So we really have to take this threat seriously, and we want to get this party, the Reform Party of Australia, off the ground. But we can't do it without your help. So we want people, and we don't know all the answers, but together we can find most of the answers. So we need your help. We need you to contact us sooner rather than later, because if we continue this way, we'll all be learning Mandarin in the not too distant future. And if that's the future you see for your kids, grandkids, and in my case, great-grandkids, well, it's not the way I see Australia. So let's do something about it now. Our form of government would not be a one-person Prime Minister. It would be a 5-person Prime Cabinet, where then MPs have so much more interaction between the top line of administration that will get your feelings and ideas across a lot easier. So it will never be one person, one dictator running our country ever again. And that is a serious, serious threat. So come on, let's start doing something about it. I need volunteers. We need people to join the party. And we need help very, very quickly. Otherwise, we're going to really be in strife. The contact details are info@reformpartyofaustralia.com.au for initial ideas and details of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to do it. Now that's novel in itself, because normally most politicians will tell you what they're going to do. Most of them are probably lies anyway. But what we will do is explain ourselves bit by bit what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, why we're going to do it. Gives you the full picture. And we really need to do something like this. We've got to get away from dictatorship. We've got to get back to a combined country that can head into the future, and that we will make positive changes and make Australia the country that it once was or should be now. So again, please, let's hear from you. Let's get your feelings. Let's get your ideas. As I said, I don't know all of the answers, never will, but I'm learning every day. So info@reformpartyofaustralia.com.au. Come on, let's get off our backsides, let's do something about it, and let's make this country great again. Thank you very much indeed.